I want to shift now to introduce someone who many of us know, and I hope that you take time to get to know more. Program director for NSF ADVANCE, Dr. Jessie DeAro. And Jessie, I'm going to shift share to you.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I am going to try and share a screen as efficiently as possible. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, Stephanie. And I'm super happy that we were able to get together and do this pre-meet EISCC conference meeting via webinar. So we can build excitement for the meeting and hopefully give people some context for why we have this meeting and what the community is all about. So the ADVANCE program was conceptualized in, you guessed it, a working group, a committee, like we all know exists in higher education. That's how we get things done. A committee at NSF in the 1998 and 1999 and became a program, making its first awards in 2001 under the leadership of NSF Director Rita Caldwell and Deputy Director Joseph Bordonia. Let's see, we can do both at the same time. So I wanted to introduce the program to you a little bit and make clear the model of the program, which is an NSF grant program. So although there have been changes in the program since 2001, and we are approaching our 25th anniversary, the first, there has been consistency in the program. The first of which is the focus on making grants to institutions of higher education to critically examine how effective their organization is at recruiting and retaining and promoting all the available and excellent STEM faculty candidates that are out there, and drawing on the decades of research on organizational change and social and behavioral sciences that indicate that underrepresentation in STEM careers and STEM academics is not necessarily just a choice that individuals make, but is heavily influenced by the systemic barriers that might exist within institutions of higher education that impede the participation of all faculty. And so the first cornerstone is organizational change mechanisms. So this is one of the many facets of the program that make it different from other federal investments in broadening participation, which often focus on supporting individuals so that they can survive in their STEM educational programs and careers, whereas the ADVANCE program is trying to make it so that no one needs survival skills to have a thriving, successful academic career. And this slide just shows you some of the places where systemic issues might impact the inclusion and access of individuals to academic careers. Okay. The second cornerstone is a focus on equity and ensuring that the academic workplace is fair and just. And in this slide, you can see some examples of where the workplace is not showing a fair and equitable workplace in terms of pay differentials between faculty based on gender over time, and in terms of workload for service work, which is differentially assigned to and carried out by individuals based on their gender and other factors we know. And so this also means that we're working to fix the underlying issues that cause the lower participation of individuals in STEM academic careers. Okay. The third cornerstone is the focus on this very important slice of the entire STEM workforce in the country, and that is the faculty STEM workforce, because of their important role both in determining the research agenda in science and engineering for the country via their proposals to funding organizations and via their operation of their labs, but also in mentoring and educating the next generation of scientists and engineers. If we can improve STEM faculty equity and ensure that all qualified, excellent people who want to go into academic careers are able to go into those careers and be the mentors and role models and leaders in research for the country, then that is what we're looking for. So that's why we focus on STEM workforce as the slice of the focus of the advanced program. And that is also a little different than other programs that focus on broadening participation, which may be more generic and look at all STEM disciplines in the undergraduate or the K-12 level or something like that, which is much more broad in their focus. And then recently, we've added a fourth cornerstone to the program, and that is intersectionality, and recognizing that gender, the experiences of individuals is different based on all of the identities that they bring to their workplace. And if we want to reach our goal for the desired equitable workplaces for all STEM faculty, that we need to encourage the program and our grantees to think about the intersection of gender and other social identities that can impact the experiences of those individuals in the academic workplace. And so this is, I believe, an important change to the program, but more recent in 2016. So these are the four cornerstones of the program. And we do support organizational change within institutions of higher education, but also with other organizations such as professional societies, because of their role influencing the culture and climate for academic workers. Okay. So one of the, as I mentioned before, we are reaching the 25th anniversary of the program, and we have made significant investments across the country in different types of institutions to do this work. I'll share with you the description of the types of grants for institutions of higher education, and we have a pathway for institutions to begin with a catalyst and do self-assessment work to determine if they have equity issues and where they are and what the underlying reasons are for them. And then we have the adaptation project where you can implement evidence-based strategies. But then also after that, the institutional transformation, where you would be continuing your institutional changes, but also contributing original research and innovation and systemic change strategies. So over the course of the 25 years, we've funded over 300 different institutions across the country, in all the states and Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia, except for Wyoming. So if you're calling from Wyoming, I hope that to see a proposal, please get in touch with us. We would love to see a proposal from Wyoming. But despite that, we've only reached 3% of all the institutions of higher education in the country because our funds are limited. Fortunately, though, our impact goes beyond our institutions that have received grants. And one of the ways that we try to ensure that that impact is shared with others is the investment in the Advanced Resource Coordination Network at WEPAN to help us communicate more broadly with individuals who are interested in doing this work, and by creating the resource library, which you'll hear about in a little bit, and other tools and information that uh, anyone can use and tap into if they're interested in pursuing systemic change that's intersectional in nature, to address inequities in STEM. Uh, in our case, for faculty, but a lot of these strategies can be used for other workforce areas as well. And so I think I am wrapping up with one slide that just has our email, our generic email, which is advance@nsf.gov, which will go to the entire program office team, so that we can respond to your questions, set up a meeting to talk to you about your project ideas. We're more than happy to spend time with you as you are thinking about what type of award might work for your institution where you're at right now. The institutions that have already had an adaptation or an institutional transformation cannot get another one. So in this way, we're trying to expand our reach by increasing the number of institutions out there doing this work. So if you have not had one of these grants yet, we would love to talk with you about getting you set up and positioned to do that in our next competition. And you can contact us here at the advance@nsf.gov. And we do have recordings of proposal preparation webinar preparation, so that you have a heads up on all the things that you need to include in a proposal, in addition to the language in the solicitation calling for proposals. And so I will turn it over now back to, I think, Virginia and Bethany at the ARC Network. And thank you for your time and attendance today. And I hope that we will see you at the convening in June in Puerto Rico. And also that we'll hear from you if you're interested in pursuing an advanced project in the future.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jessie. And I want to encourage our audience as we're shifting share to Virginia and Bethany, do not take lightly the invitation to look at the webinars on proposal preparation and to reach out. This is a team that is open and welcoming to hear from us all. And let's root for Wyoming.